Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go. Set. And Tucson. Double.
On 1st and 10, Franks. He's got Smith here. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Franks. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He'll have a first down past the 40. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
brought down by Nate Gary.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. T.J. Hawkinson with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
To throw again. Franks. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Franks. Able to locate his running back, open downfield. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 43 yards. On first down, Franks. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. On first down, it's Johnson. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here, as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. 2nd and 6. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Never make the mistake with the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here. They're just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Going for it all. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
Yeah, at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Shoot. Watch the shoot.
They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. I'm coming.
2nd and 4. It's caught. Smith.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. It's a quarterback sneak, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's caught here by Adams. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front?
Created that time.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it'll be tipped up and picked off.
Flush to his right. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Back to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. It's 2nd and goal. Back to the 8-yard line now. Here's 2nd and 8. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 8 yards out. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Franks is going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. This is caught. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off two huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball,
he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. T.J. Hawkinson with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. To throw on third down, Franks. The open man is Smith. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And now he'll tuck it and run. And it's a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
All that only nets him a yard. It's second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. they become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Franks. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Franks steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Watch out.
On 3rd down, Franks. And this is hauled in by Matthews. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard strike. They go with Jacobs. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Lions will take over. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Kendricks picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
They're going to look to throw. Going up top. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Let's go.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Franks. Buying time to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Tracy Walker. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
That goes for a gain of 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Pierce. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Off. Right there.
2nd and 13. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now it looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? He'll drop to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. And Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Looking to throw. Franks. And Diggs has it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Hey, let's go. Tell me crap. Here we go. Deuce. Check.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So